No, we're on the street, mate. It's all right. We're
on the street.
We're not filming in there. It's all right. Okay. Right, stop that now. Right. This is Bill Maloney speaking for Pie and Mash Films. I'm outside the Inner London Family Proceedings Court, or as they are called by a lot of us, the Secret Family Courts. Right. We were in Lewisham yesterday. This is a strange story I've got for you all. When I was driving through Lewisham, I saw a young couple and they was crying. Both of them were crying. I'll just call them A and B. A is the guy, B is the girl. The girl is 18 years of age. The guy is 24 years of age. The story came out when I talked to them. I said, are you all right? That they said tomorrow we're at the Inner London Family Proceedings Court in Wells Road, just off of Soho, and they are going to take our child away from us for good. Now this child is 10 months old. Let me just give you a bit of the history. And we're going to call them A and B. A is the guy, B is the girl. Now, when B, the girl, she had this baby and it was taken away from her after 5 hours because they said to her, the social services said, because you were brought up in care, you are a danger to this child. So they took the child away. Then they kept the child for 6 weeks and gave the girl the child back. The child was only 2 months, and they gave her the child back and let her have the child for a couple of weeks. They gave her £130 every 2 weeks to look after this child. Right, now they've taken the child away again, so the child has been in care for the last 8 months. We're talking about a 10-month-old baby girl. Right, now the mother, when she last saw the baby girl with the foster parents are getting £390 per week for this child. Right, now the reason they can't look after the child, these young people say, A and B, is what their solicitor told us. We'll call her Jenny for now. She said basically they can't fill in forms. They're not illiterate, but they cannot handle the bureaucracy of the forms of their benefits, etc., to keep their lives going. Those people whose baby has been taken away, these 2 youngsters, are now living on the floor of a garage somewhere in southeast London. Right, so when I saw them at Lewisham yesterday, I explained who we were and if they needed our help, and they said, oh yes please. So we got in touch with their solicitor. I had a long chat with their solicitor yesterday, and as I say, we'll just call her Jenny. I said to Jenny, I want to know if this kid has been abused by these 2 young parents at all. And she said, absolutely not. I said, so if that is the case, what is going on? The solicitor said to me, Jenny, she said, these kids are getting a raw deal. I said to her, that's good enough for me, Jenny. These kids are getting a raw deal, I'm on it. So we phoned the kids, and then we said that we're going to be here to support them. They said, great. Then this morning we had a phone call, we had an email from Jenny saying the kids don't want us there. So, through our experience, we thought that's all a load of bollocks. These kids are being manipulated. The social worker told them yesterday that if they spoke to us, it could affect the child's future. The child, don't forget, is 10 months old. So, the way we're seeing it is, they don't want the press in there. This is a secret family court. This is where our government are taking children, and we have the evidence of it here, at birth. Now, Martin Neri, who is with Dr. Bernardo's, the chief executive of Dr. Bernardo, said, we think that we should take children away from their parents, if required, when they're babies. Now, the only reason they've taken that, we've been told that these kids, their baby has been taken away from them because they cannot fill in all the forms to get them the benefits. What they need is support. Bearing in mind, this young girl who has nothing, they come from poverty-stricken areas, she was receiving £138 every 2 weeks for her child, living in poverty, obviously, because you can't live on 65, 60 odd quid a week. We know that. Keep a child and your partner. So here we have a situation now. We've turned up, the security guards don't want to let Lily and myself in. Now, they became really quiet not aggressive, but it could have gone that way. There was about 7 of them. They wouldn't let us in. They said, and Lily was filming the front, so I've had to stand 100 metres from the children's court. Now, any court in the land, you can go and sit in a public gallery and listen to what's going on, press or public. That goes for the Iraq inquiry as well. Right, but they won't let us in to the children's courts, okay? Well, they were threatened by one officer who came out, one security officer, spat on the floor, and he went, "I'll call the police." He told me he was head of security. Some of these parents aren't even allowed to go into the hearings. They stopped us going into the hearings. The parents said they wanted us in, then we get a phone call from the barrister saying they don't want you in. This young girl, this young 18-year-old mother who has had her child stolen from her by our institutions, and we all know what that is, especially those of you who are like myself, are victims out there. This kid is on the road to fucking hell. This kid is now been taken away from its parents, who are being manipulated by, it seems to us, the barrister, the social worker, the solicitor, and anyone else who's in the pot. While her child is in care, and foster parents are being given £390 a week to look after the kid. That's all these two, A and B, that's all these parents needed. They needed a bit of financial support, etc. So why not leave the kid, if it's just down to poverty, which it seems to be, and ignorance? You know, you can't take children's kids into care because their parents can't fill out their fucking benefit forms. That is absolutely outrageous. Why do they keep wanting the babies? Now there's something that's a little bit more sinister. A and B, the parents, told us that they went to see the child at the foster carers. When they got there, over the little girl's genitalia was severely blistered and sore. There was sores and blisters. Now, the girl reported this, okay, the mother reported this to her solicitor and the social worker. Now, this is a couple of weeks ago. This has not been investigated. Now, if a baby is covered in blisters around the genitalia, 10-month-old baby covered by blisters around her genitalia and sores, there is some kind of neglect there. It is either because the baby has been left in a dirty nappy, which is neglectful, or it's been abused in some kind of way. This is the sinister part. This has not been investigated, and this is what these kids have said to us, what A and B have said to us, right in the heart of our democracy, and they are stealing our children. And now the couple, when they came out of court, who said they wanted our help, while they was in court, my producer got a phone call from their barrister saying that they didn't want to see us. Then the kids come out of court and the kids saw us and ran away. So they are being manipulated. One minute they really want us to help them. So they've gone back to their garage on the floor in Croydon. While the solicitor, the barrister and anyone else in that court, the social worker, are all making fucking fortunes from these little babbies. I don't know what else to say, you know, I really don't know what else to say. Oh, fuck, Tato. Get the fuck out of here, Lil.